What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Eyes Wide Open podcast. I am your host, Kiah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you for joining me a little late in the week. I know I'm late, but I'm here yet again. And as you guys can see by the title, this week's episode is going to be about my first hot yoga experience, Storytime. So, stay tuned because it's on the way right now. Cue the intro now. Okay, what's up, guys? Woo, let's go ahead and get in. If you guys are looking for any of my social media feeds, make sure you guys check down below in the description box, wherever you are listening to. It's the Insta bio link. It'll take you to Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and everywhere that I do stuff at. If you are not following me on YouTube, make sure that you follow the podcast page on YouTube. And if you are not following me on other platforms and you're watching me on YouTube right now, make sure that you just check me out on like Spotify with my podcast and other platforms, because it can be a little bit easier. Sometimes my YouTube channel has a lot more content clouded on it. So if you're just a person who enjoys the podcast, maybe tap into the Apple podcast app or Spotify app or Anchor app, and that way you guys are able to listen that way, okay? Anyway, let's jump into story time. I'm ready. My first hot yoga experience. First of all, let's talk about how I found out about hot yoga. So one day I was on Instagram, and my girl, my photographer, the one who's responsible for my podcast pictures, she's like the sweetest ever. Her name is Sheila. Love her dearly. She's a friend and an entrepreneur and just a great person overall. If you guys are in the Sacramento or surrounding areas looking for a photographer, hit her up. Her information and IG is down below in my description box as well. But Sheila posted on stories that she was going to hot yoga. My overly giddy ass, I get excited. I'm like, hot yoga. I should do something like this. I did yoga when I was in high school a lot from dance and a little in college. And so I'm like, I should entertain this. I'm going to do it. I hit Sheila. I'm like, Sheila, I want to do it. Whatever I say. Like I said, my overly giddy ass. I didn't stop to think or consider what hot yoga was going to do to me, what it was. None of that. I was just like, yoga, I danced. I'll be fine. Hot yoga and regular yoga are not the same, people. They are not the same. Okay? Sheila, wonderfully enough, got a Groupon deal, and she told me about it. The place that we go is called Yoga Loca. It is in Sacramento. I think it's 30 days worth of classes. Let me pull the Groupon up so I can tell you guys. 30 days of yoga classes. And the cost is $38 when I bought it. I think right now it's $30.40. 4.8 on the customer reviews, my people. Go to Groupon, look for hot yoga Groupons. Even if you don't live in California or Sacramento, I'm sure if you live in like a busier city, you guys may be able to find a hot yoga class. But hot yoga, first of all, if you know what yoga is, you guys know probably like some of the standard poses. People see like these things and, different arm motions and movements and things like that. You may be familiar with the practice of yoga, but hot yoga is actually where you are in, it's like a classroom style, like dance room type of situations, mirrors everywhere in the room, but it is all just sauna. If you've ever been into a sauna at a gym, it feels like up to 10 people in one sauna space. And all of us are just doing the yoga movements. I do remember it being rough, but I guess I didn't anticipate how much the sauna heat would actually make it more difficult or like, you know what I mean, boost up the intensity of the workout. So I was like, shit, your girl was a wreck, a hot mess. Let's see, Yoga Loca, they had two teachers. Both of them are male that I have met. I think they're the only two. One of them for sure is 72 years old. I don't know how old the other guy is, but he looks freaking amazing, fantastic, very knowledgeable, very kind, easy to, have conversation with, easy to instruct, I feel, for the most part. But The only downside is you do have to wear your mask the entire time, and I'll share with you guys like the struggle I had with that, but you do need to wear a mask the entire time. Sheila sent me a warning text. I want to let you guys know this prior to any of this. Let me go to my text messages and find this. Okay, so she asked me if I wanted to start yoga that day. Of course, I'm always down. I was ready. But she says her tips. These are the Sheila tips, okay? She said, drink a lot of water prior and have a large towel to cover your mat and a towel for your face. They require you to wear a mask as well. It's really hot and can get stinky, but honestly, I love the detox that comes from it. Oh, yeah, and don't eat too heavy about an hour or two ahead. And I'm like, oh, all right, I'll be all right. You know, I'm just like, I did yoga. It's going to be hot, but, you know, I'll be fine. So, anywho, classes are about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes long. So far since I've been in them, one class was about an hour and a half, and one class was about an hour and 45. So somewhere in between there is the time frame. Okay, first of all, a few of my other tips before we get started. I read to you guys what Sheila said in her warning message. I did not take Sheila serious, so I'm reiterating some tips of my own from experience that I didn't take into consideration or just forgot. As well as a couple of things that she may not have told me, but I recognized when I got to class. So, during my first class, I forgot my mat and my towel. I had everything in a bag, and I just left my bag at home like a dodo. Oh well, they were super sweet. They let me borrow a mat while I was there, and Sheila, being the sweet friend she is, let me borrow a towel as well so I'd have something to wipe my face off with. So super sweet. So make sure that you guys remember your mat. Bring water. They were super sweet there. They have their water on sale for like $2. Also clothing. Make sure you guys wear something that's really comfortable. And I personally feel like the less clothing, the better. Don't be naked. Don't be naked, but the less clothing, the better. I will show you guys. I have on this. I'm probably going to wear this to my class tonight, but I just have on a regular sports bra. As you guys can see, it's from Pink. Doesn't matter where you get it from. I have some from Walmart. I have some from everywhere. And these shorts specifically are from Walmart too. Galaxy shorts. But I have on these shorts. I may change them. I may leave them. I don't know. But something like this, because it gets really hot. And I don't like a lot of clothes on me. They personally, I can struggle with like feeling a little claustrophobic from time to time in like really enclosed spaces, or just when things are way too tight on my body. So I like to be more free, more loose. Like I can just feel the air hitting my skin. It makes me feel a little better. So if you guys ever struggle with situations like that, take that into consideration. And as well with your mask. I don't even have the mask that I go in here, but the mask that I have, it's so cute. It's all sparkly and glittery and super gorgeous, but it's really thick. You know what I mean? You guys may get to see it in a pic. I'm not sure, but it's a really thick mask, but it is breathable, but it's thick like a jersey material. So like while it's been cold outside, that's been great because it's like warmth on my face and stuff. But in a space like that, it's not a loose enough or breathable enough mask. It's like, it's not thin enough. So I would recommend finding like a really super thin, like paper mask even, because some of the cloth ones can like cling to your face too easy and just makes it more comfortable while you're actually in the class. When you feel that heat and it's way too hot, you do want something that your breath work can work through fairly easy. So that way you don't feel, you know, a little stuffed up, claustrophobic, or like just closed in. Now, let's get fully into the class itself. One, my initial expectation prior to getting started was I know my body was going to be a little sore just because it is yoga. It's stretching your body in ways that you are unfamiliar with, and that usually just ignites some other muscle or some other something. That's standard. I am, for you guys's like reference point, I am a person who has done dance ever since I was 3 years old, competitively in studio and things like that. So I am used to being flexible, limber, having to work on breathing while I do movement. So you guys can get an idea if you are a novice or a beginner or you've never done yoga and then you don't do anything else. I'm just letting you know from a person who's like fairly athletic, it was rough for me first day. The intensity was high. It was like, it took me over a lot. But what I actually experienced during my session was that, you know what I mean? I thought I was going in. I thought I might be, it's going to be hot. I'm going to be hurt. It's going to be a little rough, but it was way more intense than I thought. And I think possibly had I had some of those other things, like more tips. Sheila told me to drink water. I mean, I drink water, but I probably needed to load up on it even more. And that makes me feel good because water is great for us, right? So more hydration in our bodies, the better. We want to keep the skin glowing and looking beautiful. You guys know me. The vitamin E and the water combo has been a kill 'em in the summer. And I'm so glad that I got 30 days worth of classes because your girl's birthday is in like almost a month-ish. So the body's going to be looking right. So right. And during my session, everybody was super helpful, but it was intense and it was hard and it was not super easy for me. I was struggling on my very first session. All the instructors, super knowledgeable, were able to give me like historical facts, which I love. I'm a history nerd. And they were able to just give me like reasons why things were more beneficial for me in certain ways. And personally for me as a learner, like when you can help give me reason behind like why I'm doing something, it just tends to make the bigger picture connect. So I like communicative instructors, and he was very much that, but both of the instructors had been pretty communicative. The first instructor was a little less like controlling or hands-on. He was more free. I mean, he just literally like talked us through and then he'd kind of show us. But the second guy was a lot more hands-on. He showed us most all the poses. He came and corrected us quite a bit, and kind of showed us areas where we could improve or make adjustments on our body and our poses. So it was really, really great in both experiences. I think both instructors are probably necessary for like different levels of people, because you possibly have some people who would like a person that's more chill to just allow them to get through the exercises. And then there's definitely some days that you need the instructor that's going to be very, you know what I mean, very much a teacher to the class to show them, because you did have a lot of beginners in there who, I'm not going to say they've never done yoga, but if you've never, ever, ever done yoga before in life, prepare for a rough day. The temperature is hot again, so just please maintain hydration. Please stay hydrated. Bring water. Take as many like moments to drink water as you can, because in between the set seems like forever before you get another drink. And it's not that long, but it's like a mental game because you're so hot. You know what I mean? I personally left the very first day. I left the classroom like 2, almost 3 times because I was just feeling claustrophobic, like I couldn't breathe. It wasn't enough water in the world that was helping me feel more comfortable. And the instructor's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I just feel like dizzy and like I can't breathe." And he's like, "Don't leave." He said, "Kiah, don't leave." He said, "Just lay down on the mat and just calmly relax yourself and breathe." And I was like, okay. So I lay down on the mat and he has me get into like a lay flat yoga position where your arms are out. It's just very calming position. They say it's like the best position to let the blood and your breath work like circulate through like it's supposed to. So I laid out flat and I just focused on my breath work through majority of the class. I would join in at like maybe do 1 out of the set that we did for the exercises. But for the most part, because I started to feel like that, I started to get a little like overwhelmed, and I decided like, okay, this will be the best thing for me. I just focused on my breath work. And it actually, if you guys feel like it's a waste of a class, it's not, because staying in the room in the heat temperature and breathing, it really, really helped me realize like how important the breath work actually is. I almost feel like a lot of people should just do that on their first class ever anyway. If you've never done it, just go in and try to breathe in that the whole time, because you can't not breathe. You will be so exhausted and drained and dizzy and tired if you do not breathe and practice breath work, because it's so hot. You have to focus on that like constant breath work for yourself. Like you can't hold your breath. And they put a lot of emphasis on that within what we're doing. The focus was breath work, and the focus was more balancing and us maintaining stillness with the pose versus having like the longest, leg stretches or the most flexible leg bends and things like that. They really wanted us to focus on maintaining the correct posture of the position as well as not overdoing our own muscles. So they would definitely tell you like push a little bit, but don't overdo it. They were really, if you only get this much off the ground, take that. take that, stay with that, be still with that, and master that, and then level up again. It's just a really nice practice. Our instructors were really explaining to us how, you know, amazing it is for the body and the health benefits of actually doing yoga for long term. One of our instructors, the one that's 72, he was just very vocal and talking to us, story times and stuff too, but he actually communicated to us that he had been teaching for 21 years, and he looks amazing. He doesn't even look like he's 72, 73 years old. I mean, he looks great. He's so flexible. He does all the movements 10 times better than I do, and no, I'd be feeling like I got it going on or whatever. Homeboy is killing me, okay? He's killing me. That is for darn sure. For darn sure. But I love that they have the focus on the flexibility, or not on the flexibility so much as they have it on actually mastering the poses, because it's really teaching you that discipline you need. And they spoke about how this is such a great discipline to learn, because as we get older in age, they talk about one of the worst things we can do is like eat unhealthily, gain a lot of weight, and, you know, just not live in our best life in that way and making best health decisions. That can be one of the worst things we do. But by incorporating yoga and learning this as a practice, we can better adjust our bodies, because doing that, can you imagine being able to go to a hot yoga class, you know, like a couple of times a week when you're in your older age? It's such a calming thing. You're not over stretching the muscles, I feel, that you will maintain healthiness for a long time, as long as obviously the other elements in your life are flowing well. Sometimes I know we can't help it. I highly suggest getting on. He was really, really actually impressed, per him, that it was only my second class. The second class I went to, which was yesterday, I did so much better. I stayed in the entire time. Except for once, but it wasn't because I was hot. I genuinely had to go to the bathroom. But I actually just did better. I was able to breathe through, and I intently, like, every single movement we did, I incorporated breathwork some kind of way. I really wanted to make sure that I wasn't like dying. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be dying just like the last time. And I did end up wearing the same mask as the first time. So I feel like when I bring my new mask, my thin mask with me today, it'll be even easier for me. I also recommend staying consistent. After the first day, my body hurt so bad, and I thought, man, this is going to suck. But if you really think about it, the heat that you go into, it's so hot, your body warms up so much easier, and it allows for that flexibility and the strength and the push that you need to have. And it's really, really, really nice. Like, I think the heat encourages me to keep going, because I'm able to kind of like work some of that coldness out of my muscles. And I'm a very cold natured person. So like being able to get warmed up and loosen up my body, it works out so well in a situation like hot yoga. Like my first day, I was like, I don't know. But I came back the second day and I was like, I feel a lot better. And I keep telling myself, if I keep coming back these next 30 days, I'm going to keep feeling better. And Lord willing, Groupon has another Yoga Loca coupon in another 30 days so I can go back again. Oh, but at the end of my 30 days, I'm going to be lit for my birthday. I keep telling y'all that, but I'm going to look so snatched. I just have a feeling. Ooh. The way that they format the class is we do 2 sets of each exercise. So it'll be left side and right side usually. Sometimes 3 sets if we have to do like to the back or like the front of something. Then you do a standing set and a floor set as well. And there's a lot of breath work in between, a lot. Like I said, the class is an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So if you have never been in a sauna for almost 2 hours, just take that into consideration about how hot it would be being in there. And that is what it feels like. That is what it feels like. I also wanted to let you guys know. So overall, pros and cons. My pros, my cons. Pros, it's quiet. It's peaceful. It's challenging mentally, which I love. Anything that's mentally challenging gives me some brain work. And it's really physically challenging too. And I like stuff like that as well. And it's not physically challenging because it's like, you know, you're pushing heavy weights or something like that. It is a lot of balance and a lot of core strength. And it will test your muscles to a very strong limit and your breathing skills to a very strong limit because you're so hot in the room. If you're looking for something like that, definitely check it out. I feel like it's, of course, going to be great for the body, especially into old age. You can't get better than that. And I do see the benefits because I see people who do it, not just those 2 guys, but I know other people who have taken it on into older age and they tend to love it as well. So yoga for all ages. Hello. My cons, getting started. I would say after the first class, it's probably going to be really hard for some people to be like, I want to go back to that if you have a rough time. So just take into account some of the things I talked about the class, and just know what to expect, because it was a very intense class for me. Like it was rough, but don't leave. Try to stay and just breathe. I laid on the mat in the position that my instructor allowed me to lay in, and I just focused on breath work, and I swear to you, that helped me feel 1,000,000 times better. Like, I was like, you guys know I am being more experimental with different things as COVID is decreasing. Things are opening up a little more. I hope to bring you more videos where I can share with you my first time doing something. I did totally switch agendas for the De-Stress podcast. Cameron, my brother, his schedule has been kind of all over the place too. So we would just want to make sure that we find time to film together so that we can bring you guys some more good content. But I did want to come in here because I was excited to share about my first experience of hot yoga and how it's going for me. And I will tell you guys, I'm committed to stick through my 30-day time span. I don't think I'm going to be going all 30 days, but like I at least wanted to go like 20 to 25 out of the 30 days if I could. That's how I'm looking at it. But I hope all of you are having a wonderful, fabulous day, and I will talk to you guys later, okay? Bye. Okay, so we just survived the hot yoga. I felt like I was in a sauna for like 2 hours, but we made it. Nigga, we made it. Literally, I'm going to sleep so good. My body is like all the way drained. I need to go book another massage because hot yoga is no joke. It is no joke, people. It is no joke.